Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. We're gonna do my January reading wrap up and my February TBR. I only read about 4 books in the month of January. It was kind of a bad reading month for me. I read about 4 books and then put myself in a reading slump, so that was so fun. But the first 3 books I read this month was the Inheritance Games trilogy. I wasn't planning on reading all 3 this month, but I started the first one. I started the Inheritance Games and loved it so much that I absolutely had to continue these 2 and I didn't want to wait. So I read all 3 of these this month. I ended up rating them all 4 stars. I know that I said I wasn't going to talk about them until this video, so because I read it, I made a whole reading vlog on it. It's really long, but I made a whole reading vlog on reading all 3 of these books, and then I said I would talk about them now. So this one, I'm not really gonna like go into like what the book is about, since this is like an older series that most people already kind of know what it's about, and I have a whole vlog up on it. Not so much about this one because I was so into this book I barely filmed any part of me reading it, but you can know my thoughts more about these 2 and kind of what's happening in the book from watching that video. But this is the first book in the series. This is when Avery finds out that she has inherited all this money and this house from this super rich guy, and she moves in with 4 brothers, and she now has like a security guard or a security team and like a lawyer and everything. And so it kind of just like follows her, you know, finding out that she inherited all this money and then also figuring out why he chose her to inherit the money and all this stuff. I rated it 4 stars. I really liked the book. It had a lot happening. It kept me very, very interested. Like there was never really like a dull moment, and also like a lot of the time like the chapters would end on like cliffhangers. Loved this book. It was a 4 stars for me. Immediately after, started the Hawthorne Legacy. Also gave this one a 4 stars. I read these in the beginning of January, so I like barely remember what this one is about. Also gave this one a 4 stars. This one wasn't as good. Like I kind of don't really remember as much from this book as I do from the third one and the first one. I didn't love this book as much, but I still gave it a 4 stars. I still really liked it. I flew through it just as much as I did the other 2. Like really, really, really enjoyed this book. I don't know. I kind of don't know if I want to still rate it a 4 stars. Like I'm kind of thinking maybe it's 3 now because I really don't remember a lot that happened in this book. Yeah, I know. Oh, Avery finds out that she's not actually related to them in this book. She finds out that they're not related, but she finds out that he does have another daughter. Yeah, this book was actually really good. Okay, now that I'm actually thinking about it, I remember it. That's why I rated it 4 stars. Okay. But yeah, this one you find out a lot more about Tobias. The second, you find out more about his childhood and, you know, why he ran away. Final book in the series, a trilogy. The Final Gambit also gave this a 4 stars. I really, really, really enjoyed this one. Anyways, overall this series for me, it was a 5 stars, like all of it together. Absolutely love this series, would recommend it to literally anybody. I also read the fine print on my Kindle. I just finished this like a couple of days ago. After I read this series, I could not read a book. I tried to read A Court of Thorns and Roses. I think I read like maybe like 50 pages. Couldn't do it. What else did I read? I read a little bit more in The Maidens. Also couldn't read that. Like I just like didn't have, like I just like couldn't get into a book until I was like reading on my Kindle. I tried to keep reading His and Hers. Also couldn't really get into that. And then I was like, oh, I can't remember how I found it. I think I heard somebody else talking about it. I was like, oh, I wonder if like the Dreamland Billionaire series is on Kindle Limited, and it is. So I read the fine print. I just finished it a couple days ago. It was so good. Also rated it a 4 stars. I've actually started the second book already, but I'm not very far. I think I'm only like 10 pages in, but very excited to keep reading that. I really enjoyed the fine print. The only thing is like it is a very like spicy book. Like there were definitely like some scenes in there, like I think there's like 3 or 4 like very spicy scenes. So fair warning, some spicy scenes in there. So, but overall, really enjoyed the book. The next 2 books follow his other 2 brothers. Rowan's the middle child, if I remember right. Rowan's the middle. The next book is Callahan's, which is the youngest, and then the third one is Declan's, which is the oldest. So, very excited to read those 2. That are 2 books that are on my radar for February. Alright, on to February TBR. So, I want to finish the Dreamland Billionaire series. So, Terms and Conditions, which is Callahan's book, and then Final Offer, which is Declan's book. Definitely want to finish those this month. I definitely think I will because I am very hooked in the series. I really like it so far. Obviously, I don't know how the other 2 books are going to go because it's obviously not following Rowan and Zara anymore. It's now like, I think it's Callahan and Iris. I know Iris is in Callahan's book. She's also a little bit in Rowan's, but like not as much because like she doesn't really have like a connection with him. So definitely excited to keep reading those, but those are the 2 books that I'll be reading on my Kindle. The physical copy books that I want to read: Twisted Love and Archer's Voice. I know I said I was going to read Archer's Voice in January, but I didn't get around to it. Never read it, but I really do want to read it. I've heard such good things about it and I really want to read it. And then Twisted Love, since it's February, it's more like romance books. I do want to read this one. These are the 2 physical copy books. We're keeping it short and simple this month. It's a shorter month. Hopefully I can get through these. I don't think I'm in as much of a reading slump, but yep, 4 books this month. Anyways, that is my January TBR, or that is my January wrap up and my February TBR. Keeping it short, simple this month. Very excited for February. Very excited to read these books. I definitely want to get to these 2, but I also really want to finish the Dreamland Billionaire series, so we'll see. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have a good February reading month if you guys are readers, and a good February. I will see you guys next week with another video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.